Hey, I'm running about. I've got all this screen retail space. It's the comment show, the best show in all the land. And sea and air, but not on the moon. They have better programming. The first comment comes from Legit Sarchi, and he said, if Liverpool don't win anything this season, Klopp should be sacked. Controversial. Klopp has spent 393 million since becoming Liverpool manager. And I know, you might have some people in the comments right now being like, talk about net spend, mate. He's bought a bunch, but he sold loads. He's probably spent about 12 quid technically. No one cares, all right? Don't factor in net spend, that's rubbish. Managers aren't usually the blokes sitting at the table being like, you know what, sell them for 150. You should judge managers on who they buy, because they've recruited them, unless they got like a head of football. But managers will be like, you know what, I want this player. So that's what you should be basing his record on. So bearing that in mind, I don't actually agree with this comment. I think this is easily the best chance that Liverpool have had to win the league this year. They've got an incredible squad. However, to say Klopp should get sacked if Liverpool don't win a trophy this season, I think is harsh. They definitely need to do better than fourth this season with their squad. But if they don't win a trophy, I don't think it's outrageous because of the standard of the other teams. They should win something soon, but if they don't win something this season, it's not the end of the world. The next comment comes from Siddharth Reddy, and he put, Golden Boot, Aubameyang. I am not against this shout, although it is incredibly unlikely. Mo Salah and Kane are obvious shouts. Don't see why Mo Salah won't keep scoring goals, unless he injured his shoulder and people just keep going on about his bloody shoulder. He's fine, all right? He's completely fine. Oh, he seems to have carried on because he scored in the pre-season friendly when he just came. Who gives a shit? It was offside as well. Good God, you are insufferable, aren't you? Then you've got Harry Kane, who will continue to bang goals every season because he's done it like 4 or 5 seasons in a row now, and he has a speech impediment, so he is my spirit animal. So I expect him to shoot 400 times a game and score lots of goals once again. You've also got Aguero, who scored 21 in 28 last season. If he manages to have a season where he doesn't get injured, then I fully expect him to be within a goal or 2 of the Golden Boot because 1, I am massively biased, 2, he is criminally underrated. Then you've got Lukaku, who scored less goals than Jamie Vardy last season. And Mourinho has completely lost his head. So combine those two and you will have a hilarious season where they're just okay. Did they finish second? They finished second. They were really bad. How did that happen? Let's not let that happen again. But you obviously think Aubameyang has a good chance. And as I said, it was unlikely, but he did score 10 in 13 last season after he joined in January. His numbers are right up there. I actually think this Arsenal team are going to do way better than they have the previous 2 seasons. I just think finally getting rid of that old prune will finally just give a bit of energy in the Arsenal team. So I think they'll do much better this year. Probably not Golden Boot though. I think probably just a bit off. Unbelievable player, unbelievable goal scoring record, but there's better teams to support their strikers in this league than him at Arsenal. Sorry! The next 2 comments come from Hot Takes. Kieran definitely edited this video. At 2:26, Kieran, you edited this. Yes, I definitely did edit Hot Takes. Oh yeah! And I'm glad people are finally recognising my style that I've tried to cultivate. You have directors such as Quentin Tarantino, Wes Anderson, Michael Bay, who all have their own style. This is mine. This is what I've tried to cultivate. And I'm very happy that specifically at 2:26 on the video, from this frame, you have thought, that's definitely Kieran. The next comment was on VFN on a video titled United to buy Slabhead. That was the title, I did not just make my own. Nope. Jay put, another average player with an extremely overpriced tag just because he is English. Have we learned nothing from John Stones at City? And then someone who supports Millwall replied, John Stones is the most overrated excuse of 50 million quid to kick a football. You know what? No one needs to tell you stats to just tell you face to face that you, sir, are a Rumpleton Gooch. Don't know what that is, just made it up, but I quite like it. The plural of that is Geech. Money has gone mad in football, we all know that, no one denies that. And smaller clubs literally have less of a reason to sell because of all the money you get from being in the Premier League and on TV. And Premier League teams have a quota of English players. You need some homegrown players. So that's just an even better bargaining chip for them to sell inflated prices to bigger clubs. And I don't blame them, why wouldn't you? John Stones was and is phenomenal. Centre-backs have to do more than just having a big old head. All right? They have to be able to pass on the back, and it will only get more important year upon year. If you think John Stones is overrated, all you're doing is parroting absolute bullshit that you got from your dad after he watched Match of the Day once and he just got annoyed that someone spent 50 million on a football player and didn't, I don't know, build a hospital or buy a new warship. The next comment comes from me, and it says, "Hi, me." Hello again, me. I got top comment on my own video. Wow. That's cool, isn't it? The definition of cool. I didn't pin it. Someone else pinned it on EFD, not me. It's never me. I've never pinned my own comment. I have. The next comment comes from Hamza Mir, and it was on Stat Wars, and he had an issue with an inaccurate "Who am I?" clue. Dejan Lovren has never played with Luis Suarez. The sun rises, the tide goes in and out. A bear in the woods. A Stat Wars question is incorrect. Or was it? How do you know that Dejan Lovren and Luis Suarez have never played together? Because this comment doesn't specify at a club. It doesn't even specify what sport. They could have played basketball in their free time. They could have played FIFA. They could have just played with each other. And no, not in that sense. I meant in the sense in like, you know, in the park or with a toy or with, on a swing, maybe. Not a sex swing.
All three of those things you could have said just made it so much
Yeah, I just made it sound really bad, didn't I? But I'm leaving it in. That sounds bad as well. Sexual innuendo. The next comment comes from Football Daily. Unpopular opinion. Bayern Munich won't win the Bundesliga this season. I don't know what absolute Gorgonite wrote this from FD, but there's a reason this is an unpopular opinion, because it's blatantly wrong, isn't it? Blatantly. It's hurting me sad because it's so obvious. I don't want Bayern to win it, but they've won the past 6. I want Schalke to win it, because apparently the other week I asked you lot to pick me a European team to follow, and you picked Schalke, and now I regret that because Bayern are just going to win it again, aren't they? This is going to be a waste of a year. But I'll watch them anyway. The next comment comes from Greenon, and he says Thomas Delaney is the most underrated box-to-box midfielder who has been bought this season. Firstly, this is apparently how you spell box-to-box in Danish. That's mad. I'm going to start using that from now on because that looks cool. Secondly, I'm sorry, Greenon, but I just spent an entire day editing an 11 of the worst signings this summer, and Thomas Delaney made it because apparently he's useless. Dortmund might as well have bought me. And some attributes I can offer Dortmund are 1 sprint per 90. I can't play with my back to anyone. Just can't do it. Useless. Also, my touch is awful. There's a reason I'm a goalkeeper and cameraman and not professional footballer. The next comment comes from Harry Forsyth. I'm sorry about your dad. Rest in peace. Who had the better comb over, Bobby Charlton or Thomas Tuchel? Charlton had a more outrageous comb over. It's sort of like flying off over there in one of the pictures. Tuchel is less outrageous, but I prefer Thomas Tuchel's because from the back it's incredibly round, like coconut heads, which if you don't know was a character in Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, which ran for 3 years on Nickelodeon between 2004 and 2007. That's a very specific reference, but I reckon at least 2 people may get it. But just mad, look, back of his head. Round, innit? The comment of the week actually comes from Twitter. Oh, I've tricked everyone. You're all right, comments, been like, I'm going to get comment of the week. No, turns out it's a tweet. Tweet of the week, mate. Swagato Sarkar, FD's winner of Best Fan, tweeted that the new thumbnails are cool. And you're right, we've proper amped them up. We've gone from this to this. That's a bigger upgrade to what Pep Guardiola did to City's fullbacks last season. Hot stuff. And that is it for today. Welcome to the end. Go watch more great FD content and EFD content, all the FD content. Football! Go over to my channel, watch some of my stuff and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. Auf Wiedersehen!